Welcome to the order of Monday morning. Oh, I forgot to give the secret sign. Welcome to the order of Monday morning. Uh, I uh, I went to my Book of Ordinary Oracles this morning and to get some inspiration for today's talk. Um, Constance and I watched this first thing in the morning. She makes some tea. It was oolong tea this morning, and I set up the our little uh, computer on a little table, and we put it on the bed and get all cozy, and we watched Democracy Now! With Amy Goodman, and Juan Gonzalez was there this morning. And it was especially good today, but it is such an overview of world news situations that you can't really say that it's very cheerful. Wish there was more cheerful stuff going on in the world. But anyway, we sort of like to uh, you know start the day knowing what's going on. Uh, but anyway, so it was cold and rainy, and I didn't go for my walk yet. I'll have to do that a little later. Uh, so I was thumbing through my little book of ordinary oracles, just to get some kind of an idea of some inspiration from the gods, if you will. And I opened it up to the little thumbnail divinatory fortune cookie thing for today, and it said, "The time is right." Excuse me, the time is ripe. And that's always sort of encouraging. Uh, and then I looked on what page that fell on, and that page fell on the chapter 5, which is dice. It's about dice and dice divination and such. And uh, I recall that in the Tarot of Marseille, or at least some versions of the Tarot of Marseille, the magician stands before a table, and he's got a wand, and there is a cup and a sword or a dagger and a pentacle or a disc of some kind. But there's also dice, three dice on the Tarot of Marseille. Um, and two dice gives you a combination or a chance of 1 in 21 different combinations of two dice. And there are 21 numbered tarot cards too. Okay, the Fool being 0. Nevertheless, some kind of an aberration in the throw of two dice would give you that 22nd wild card, if you will. And three dice give you the possibility of 56 different combinations. So a roll of three dice, you could determine one of 78 tarot cards. It's pretty cool. I've liked dice. I've always liked dice, and since I was a little kid, not very active, and we had board games and things like that. And when we moved to Nebraska, my mother immediately enrolled me in the Methodist Church Sunday school thing, and of course, you all know the story of me learning the rules of the game of craps. And I used it to gamble for offering money that my fellow Sunday school kids brought. Okay, and so every Sunday, or for a few Sundays anyway, I would teach my Sunday school fellow students the venerable game of craps. And of course, they didn't know the rules, and I did. And anyway, it was a very felonious, and I got busted. Okay. And I tell the story all the time because it sticks out so much in my head. Look what one evil little boy, literally. I'm not going to say his name, but God knows who he is. And he threw my green dice. I had this kind of oversized green dice. He threw it in a dustbin, or the waste paper basket, with a loud rattle. I like dice, okay. And when I think the very first thing I ever bought in my life with my own allowance money or something was a pair of green dice. Go figure. Dice are really cosmically important. A cube, let's see if a cube is formed inwardly by an up-down and a right-left and a forward-backwards. Okay. And a cube, and that up-down, right-left, forward-backwards form opposite walls and a ceiling and floor of a cube. Okay, so put that in a thing like this. I do this all the time. You tired to see like that. There's your cube. Okay. It's cosmic. It's our dimension. It may not be the super transdimensional everything quantum, everything soft, but it's the universe that we generally think of as reality, and so keeping that in mind, I wrote this little chapter in the Book of Ordinary Oracles, and had a way to, with different tables and stuff, different ways of you using the dice to choose tarot cards if you want to do that. Plus, there's just regular classical dice answers. Okay, there's sort of traditional answers for a 2 dice thing, and the Tibetans use 3 dice, and they call it shomo. And here's the answers to the various shomo or 3 dice answers. And to tell you the truth, it's been quite a while since I've got out of paradise or three dice. And don't worry, I don't have them right here with me now. But anyway, here's here's a little peek at chapter 5. God does not play dice. Albert Einstein. Yes, he does. Stephen Hawking. Since an exasperated Albert Einstein made that famous statement about God not playing dice, physicists have gone back and forth about the apparent randomness of nature. For reasons that I certainly don't pretend to understand, the crux of such debate revolves around the theoretical impossibility of measuring both the speed and position of a particle. Einstein figured there must be some factor, some hidden variable that once understood would allow such measurement and thus disprove the randomness of things. As it turns out, the old boy has been proven wrong, at least about that. Professor Stephen Hawking, in one of his surprisingly easy to follow lectures about the results, talked about the results of an experimental test that could prove or disprove hidden variable theories. And here's what he said. When the experiment was carried out carefully, the results were inconsistent with hidden variables. Thus, it seems that even God is bound by uncertainty, the uncertainty principle. Certainly is in relationship with his personal relation with Lon. Okay. And cannot know both the position and the speed of a particle. So God does play dice with the universe. All the evidence points to him being an inveterate gambler who throws the dice on every possible occasion. Now, you know, like in the Mahabharata, there is a famous dice throwing chapter, an infamous game of dice where by the main characters, the almost prehistoric nobles of the story, play dice, and the guy loses the equivalent of his universe, you know, in a game of dice. People can't get over it. Not only that, but it points out the very real, the very serious, addictive power of wagering, of gambling, and but that's another story. Now, the Egyptians have a myth that the year used to have only 360 days, and Isis got herself caught sort of in an extramarital complication where she became pregnant and the child wasn't Ra's, okay, and she went to Thoth and said, "Hey, can you get, Ra has cursed me." She said, "I can't have this baby in any day of the year. I'm just going to get so huge, you know." And Thoth stops and thinks, and he talks, I think, Ra into a game of dice with him, and Thoth figures out how to win, but what they wagered on is Thoth got to add 5 more days to the year, and in those 5 days, Isis could have the baby. That dice figure all over the place. Hang on. Today, because of the popularity of role-playing games, dice come in all shapes and numbered sizes. The possibility for divining with these are mind-boggling. For our purposes, however, we're going to stick to the ordinary six-sided dice with opposite faces that add to 7. 1, 6, 2, 5, 3, 4, etc. After all, most of you probably have a few of these little fortune tellers around the house. I've had several other reasons for doing this. First, the use of a six-sided die goes back at least as far as the Etruscans, 900 BC. These evolved from prehistoric divination with animal knuckles or knee bones, some of which can land in any of 1/6 positions. Second, and most important, they have inherited an existing and venerable list of throw answers, or traditional meanings attached to different numbers. The throw answers below are my own personal list of meanings culled from a number of classic dice divination sources and translated, as I'm wont to do, into my own lazy and abbreviated language. One set consists of 11 answers, for which you use 2 dice. The second lists 16 answers for when you use 3 dice. The method consulting the dice oracle is the same for both. And if you're interested, if you're not, have a good day. This is my technique. Throw the dice from a cup into a circular area from 12 to 18 inches in diameter. This can be a piece of paper or cloth or even a small hooked rug, which I use. If you are outside, you can draw a circle on the sidewalk with chalk or a mark outside the circle in the dirt, which is probably the best. After invoking the superior intelligence of your choice and concentrating on your question, take the cup of dice in your left hand if you're right-handed, or in your right hand if you're left-handed, and shake it until the spirit moves you to toss the dice in the circle. If a die falls outside the circle, don't read it. If all the dice fall outside the circle, put them back in the cup and roll again. If all the dice fall outside the circle twice in a row, wait at least 3 hours. Reboot. Okay. 4. You can also inject an added dimension to your throw of the dice by placing a coin or other small object anywhere within the circle before you make the throw. The die that lands nearest the coin represents things or events of people that are coming into your life. The die that lands farthest away from the coin represents things or events or people that are moving out of your life or away from, or will become a factor in your life in the more distant future. Okay. Then I give certain dice superstitions traditionally. Don't consult the dice on a Monday is one of them. Okay. I'm just going to now, just to finish up, here's what the answers are. And you can play this back because I'm not going to read it very slowly. To use, when you're using 2 dice, okay, and you come up with a 2, the answer is a simple yes. 3, no. 4, danger. Be cautious with this matter. 5, pause and look and think before you leap. 6, you'll easily get your way with this situation. 7, your reward will depend on how much effort you put toward your goal. 8, be patient. 9, success in everything you do. But 10, disappointment, but keep on trying. 11, impossible. You're asking and expecting too much, at least for the time being. And 12, this is a real long shot. But long shots sometimes pay off. That's what you get for boxcars. Okay. And finally, the 3-card answer, my divinatory thing is let it be. Okay. I will. I'll read this page and I'll let it be. 3 dice answers. Now, the Tibetans use a 3 dice system called shomo. Use this method when you don't have a specific question but wish to get a general forecast of events that are likely to affect you. If you roll a 3, remember we've got 3 dice. Family problems. 4, you really don't understand the situation. Better rethink this. 5, a very pleasant surprise. 6, your luck's about to change. Unfortunately, not for the better. 7, you want it, you got it. 8, material loss. 9, hassles with friends, co-workers, or lovers. 10, a happy romantic surprise. 11, a new baby or a brainchild or the beginning of an endeavor. 12, a sad separation, perhaps ill health. 13, a message of importance, good news. 14, something happens to burn you out. 15, a stranger becomes a friend by helping you. 16, watch your step. Play with fire now and you'll definitely get burned. 17, something you hear causes you to modify your plans. 18, is everybody happy? Yes, this is the best. Happiness, success. And I'll leave you with that. Okay, I'll let it be. May today you roll an 18. Until tomorrow, the order of Monday morning is dismissed. The Mass is ended. Go in peace. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law. Love under well.